Ladies and gents, now I have not done a lot with tactics in the past in terms of creating the best ones to use. And if you have seen any of my saves, you'll know that I'm definitely not a tactical genius. Most times I come up with something at the start of each save and then work with it until it fails miserably. And then I kind of either just switch to something completely new and have completely not tested, or I'll find something online that does work. I'll read posts on the Facebook forums and all that, on some people whose saves have gone really well, figure out why, try and use those tactics in my save, kind of suit it to my team, and see how things go. But I figured it might be a good idea to start learning this stuff. I have played FM for many years and the tactics have always gone past me. But how best to do that? Well, let's do a tactics review, shall we? Now, basically, a lot of what I did is I just researched a couple of websites and seen what the most top tactics are. So today we're going to look at the Nap Holy Ghost Fire tactic. Nap seems to be incredibly overpowered from what I've seen, but we're going to actually see on my save, on my thoughts, how it actually works. And since you download this tactic, it comes with kind of like 18 versions of the ones that I downloaded. Today we're actually going to look specifically at a 4-5-1 formation, which is my personal favorite. And even more specifically, because there's two 4-5-1s that I downloaded, this will be the test of the 4-5-1 AFP 105 ECFA. I have no idea what that means. I probably could have done a little more research, but that's the one we're going to use. So that was the first one I chose. Now, in prep for this video series, I have heard, like I said, that nap tactics tend to be a little overpowered. So my expectation of this is that we'll just go, the team that I'm choosing that will go top of the league and win whatever we can along the way. That's going to be kind of the base. So we'll see what actually happens after this. However, I will also be doing slightly different take in this video. Most tactic videos that you see will either focus on a single team and how they progress through the entire season, what they win and how far they got, or they pick 2 or 3 teams and see how far each individual fares in their own season, so completely independent of each other. However, I've decided to take a slightly different approach to this. Instead of playing these seasons individually, I've actually decided to become the manager of all 3 teams at the same time. So the same save, 3 teams that I'm managing, quote unquote. I will basically go on vacation, say to the assistant manager, you need to use this tactic, and beyond that, you do what you want. And we'll see how we go at the end of the season. So with that said, what will be the true measure of success in my mind? What will it be? Well, top 3 in the league, and every trophy won will be one of these 3 teams that I've chosen. Now, the true test, however, though, for me, is kind of how they stack up against each other. So you have 3 teams who will face each other at least twice during the season, and the big thing for me is, are they going to get draws? Are the top teams going to, stick with the top and always be on top as usual? As usual, I say. But that's kind of the big test for me. Beyond that will be what places did they finish, what trophies did they win, things like that. Now for the teams themselves, drum roll please. Obviously, the first one is Liverpool. I am a huge Liverpool supporter, so as one of the top teams in the league, I had to choose Liverpool to see how they will do. From that point, though, I got a little more methodical. The other 2 teams, since Liverpool being one of the top teams, I figured let's get the bottom team. Norwich is expected to be in 20th place. So Norwich is the second choice team that I've picked. Now the third. Since we went top, since we went bottom, we're going to go dead center. Expected to finish 10th place, dead center in this league, we have Newcastle. So Liverpool, Norwich, Newcastle. 3 teams that will be competing with the same tactic and trying to see who comes out first and where everyone else comes out afterwards. With all of that said, however, this is a long, grueling 38-plus match season. Let's see how we do. Welcome to June 19th, 2022. It's the end of the season. The Champions League final has been played. And as you can see, all 3 teams have done fairly well. Liverpool, top of the league, absolutely crushing Man City with 106 points, 35 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses. Newcastle coming in 3rd with 71 points, just pipping out Man U. And then Norwich coming in 6th with 61 points. I mean, Norwich at 6th, expected at 20th. Pretty fantastic season, I have to say. So now let's look at each team individually. So if we look individually at each schedule, you can see Liverpool, we already know, away from home, they beat Norwich. At home, they beat Newcastle. Away from home, they beat Newcastle. And at home, they beat Norwich. So 2-1. They leaked a couple of goals. 10-0 against Brighton. Damn, Southampton 6-0 to finish out the season. So for Newcastle, we saw that Norwich at home they won. Liverpool they lost. Norwich away they drew. Liverpool they lost at home. And then obviously going to Norwich, Liverpool loss, Newcastle draw, Liverpool loss, and then at the tail end of the season, Newcastle loss away from home. So how do they stack up against each other? Liverpool tops. I mean, that's clearly they just top. They won every match against the other two teams. Newcastle comes out slightly ahead simply because they did win that next match. Unfortunately, Norwich losing that last one during the end of the season. But overall, still a phenomenal season for all three. Now, again, going back into Liverpool, what did they win? As you can see, Liverpool do win against Manchester United 3-0, the FA Cup final. So they beat Preston, Cardiff, Luton, Leicester, and Bournemouth. Not a really incredibly hard FA Cup for them, but crushing Man United 3-0 in the final gives them at least two trophies now that they've won the Premier League. Let's see how Newcastle do. Unfortunately, Newcastle lost out in the FA Cup fifth round to Tottenham at home. Still, they beat Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace, so not too bad, but didn't get very far in the FA Cup whatsoever. Now, Norwich beating Coventry and Sheffield United 5-1 over Coventry. I mean, still, Coventry. But then losing out in extra time, West Ham at home in the fifth round as well. So they did not get any farther than Newcastle did. But Liverpool getting that trophy is kind of the big thing for this test. Now, Carabao Cup, obviously not the most exciting of cup finals, but unfortunately, Liverpool losing out to Manchester United 2-3 in the quarter cup final. This is a Liverpool v Man U all the way through this season, apparently. So, but Liverpool missing out in the quarters to Manchester United. Newcastle, fourth round to Manchester United. Wow, Manchester United is all over the save. 2-4. That was quite a high scoring game, but beating Nottingham Forest and Tottenham. I mean, this FM just does it to you. And then sadly, Norwich did not do anything. They lost in penalties in the second round to the Wolves. Didn't get very far whatsoever. But now, Europe does await for some of these teams. The big one, Liverpool win the Champions League final 5-1, crushing Inter. Absolutely crushing. But look at that, crushing Bayern, they lost away from home, but still beating Barcelona, beating PSG, absolutely dominant against PSG. Milan, Porto, Bayern again, losing both to Bayern. That is crazy. So losing on an aggregate 2-4 and then absolutely crushing them 7-1 in the return. That is absolutely crazy to me. But overall, Liverpool just storming through the Champions League to their third trophy of the season. So obviously, as I'm looking at these, they say Euro Cup and Newcastle said Champions League only because that's where they actually got to this season. So next season, they will be in all these spots. But that is how all these teams fared against each other. That is how all these teams ended the league and ended in Europe. But you can see Callum Wilson, 25 goals, Mo Salah with 24, and Jamie Vardy with 22. We don't really care about Vardy because he's not part of this test. But average rating, Trent, Robbo, and Fernandes in Manchester United, 757 to 793. Fantastic. Assists, 13 for Trent. And then Ryan Fraser at Newcastle getting 12. Player of the match, first place, 9 for Trent. Bruno Fernandes at 8. Lester Barnes get a 6. Allison shutouts 21. Yellow cards, Trent, whatever, 17. So as we can see, and we're going to finish this out here, let me know if you want to see more individual stats, more in-depth stats on some of these teams as I go along. But for right now, we're going to finish off here. So Norwich does come in 6th. Euro Cup spot, 61 points. Unfortunately, they won the Friendly Cup. I don't even know what that is. They will be in the Euro Cup next season. FA Cup knocked out in the 5th round by West Ham. Knocked out in the 2nd round by Wolves in the Carabao Cup. Newcastle coming in third with 71 points. European Champions Cup, they are going to be in next season. Knocked out in the fifth by Tottenham, knocked out in the fourth by Manchester United. Overall, some fantastic seasons so far. And then you get to Liverpool. First place, 106 whopping points. Will be in the Euro Champions Cup, Champions League next season. Unfortunately, it is because apparently I went a little farther. They did crush Inter 5-1 in the Champions League Cup final. Trophy number 2 after the Premier League trophy. Trophy number 3 is the FA Cup winner, and then beaten out in the quarterfinals by Manchester United. Absolute nemesis this season for almost everyone, that and Tottenham. But overall, a phenomenal season. I have to say, I mean, this tactic has done really well. Norwich coming in at 6th, expected at 20th. Newcastle coming in at 3rd, expected at 10th. And then Liverpool, is always going to be up in those top 3 or so spots. But absolutely fantastic. It looks like it could definitely work with anyone in this Premier League side. I have not tried it in lower leagues. I have not tried it in the rest of Europe. But in the Premier League, it seems to work very well. So anyway, that does it for me for the FM Manager blog channel. I am Sefian FM. Thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.